Once upon a time, in the heart of the Brahmaputra Valley, nestled amidst the verdant landscapes of present-day Assam, there thrived a kingdom unlike any other. This was the Ahom Kingdom, a realm that would defy empires, etching its saga into the annals of history for nearly 6 centuries. Our story commences in the year 1228 when Sukaphaa, a valiant Thai prince hailing from Mong Mao in what is now Yunnan province, China, embarked on an extraordinary journey. With a small retinue at his side, he braved the rugged Potkai mountain range and traversed untamed lands to reach the Brahmaputra Valley. Sukaphaa's arrival marked the birth of the Ahom Kingdom, a kingdom that would stand as a bastion against the mighty Mughal Empire's expansion into northeast India. Though Sukaphaa commenced his journey with but a handful of companions, the spirit of his endeavor drew other Thai chiefs and common folk to his cause. Together, they numbered around 9,000 strong as they ventured into Assam. Their destination was Upper Assam, a realm once ruled by the Kamarupa kingdom but now languishing in decline. Sukaphaa's mission was not one of conquest and plunder, but of settlement and agriculture. The Ahoms, with their Taitian heritage, brought with them the essential elements for state building. They possessed surplus-producing technologies, such as sedentary wet rice cultivation and hydrology, which would transform the undulating alluvial forests and marshy plains of Upper Assam into fertile rice fields. Through an intricate network of embankments, they masterfully managed plain water for rice cultivation. Their societal structure was built upon a patriarchal framework led by chiefs, and they embraced a distinctive form of their language. Unlike earlier state formations that borrowed heavily from North India, the Ahom state created an alternative model, rooted in Southeast Asian political structures. This framework nurtured a unique political, social, and cultural identity. While it was common for ancient and medieval Assamese kingdoms to employ Brahminical myth-making for legitimacy, the Ahoms charted their course differently. They established legitimacy through an alternate Langdon-based approach, which enabled them to negotiate effectively with the indigenous populace. However, as time passed, Katunkanjir kings veered towards Saktism, and the persecution of the Shudra Mahantas and their followers during the reign of Shiva Singh triggered the Momoria rebellion, ultimately leading to the kingdom's eclipse. The Ahom Kingdom's journey was one of endurance, resilience, and cultural diversity. Though it later became known as the Ahom Kingdom in colonial times, it was a melting pot of various ethnic groups, with the Tai-Ahom people constituting less than 10% of the population towards its end. Their identity was fluid, shaped by the ruling king who determined who belonged and who did not. As time flowed on, the Ahom Kingdom's legacy persisted, influencing the very name of the British-controlled province after 1838 and later the Indian state of Assam. This epic tale of the Ahom Kingdom serves as a testament to the enduring spirit of a people who transformed a wilderness into a realm of prosperity and left an indelible mark on the history of Assam. In a time when legends were forged amidst untamed lands, Sukaphaa embarked on a remarkable journey that would shape the destiny of a region. His quest began in 1228, leading him from place to place as he sought to establish colonies in these uncharted lands. Finally, in the year 1253, his wanderings led him to a place called Charaideo, and there, he decided to lay the foundation of his kingdom. In this newfound land, Sukaphaa established the offices of the Dangarias, the Burajahane, Jiao Frongmung, and the Borgohan, Jiao Thamung. These 2 offices would later evolve into institutions of tremendous significance, offering checks and balances that would endure for 600 years. They combined hereditary and elected elements, providing stability to the kingdom's governance. Sukaphaa was not just a visionary leader but a wise chronicler as well. He decreed that the events during his rule should be meticulously recorded, a practice that his successors dutifully upheld. Thus, the tradition of Burangi writing was born, a rarity in India's historiography landscape. In the late medieval era, the Ahom Kingdom was renowned as a Kagazi Raj, a kingdom with a rich archive of records, much like the Mughal Empire. At the heart of the Ahom mission was the transformation of fallow land into fertile fields through advanced rice cultivation. Their belief was that they were divinely ordained to achieve this, not to mention the absorption of stateless agriculturists into their way of life. These migrating people, known as Ka, were ceremonially adopted into various Ahom clans, a process aptly termed Ahomization. Sukaphaa, with strategic finesse, befriended those among the Moran and Barahi who were amenable to join him. Those who opposed his mission met a different fate, as Sukapha's determination knew no bounds. Gradually, countless others were incorporated into Ahom clans. With this process, the Ahom numbers swelled significantly, ensuring their survival and prosperity. The Ahoms were acutely aware of their relatively small numbers, and this awareness guided their actions. Rather than confront larger groups, they adopted a pragmatic approach. The process of Ahomization played a pivotal role until the 16th century when, under the rule of Suhumung, the kingdom underwent substantial territorial expansions, often at the expense of neighboring kingdoms like the Huttia and Kakari. Initially, the Ahom kingdom was not fully sovereign. Sukaphaa maintained a tradition of sending tributes and professing allegiance to Mong Mao. This practice persisted through some of his successors until the early 14th century when the influence of Mong Mao waned, gradually replaced by the might of Meng Quang. It was at this juncture that the Ahoms ceased their tributes. During these formative years, the Ahoms affectionately referred to their domain as Mung Dun Sun Kam, signifying a country of golden gardens. Despite their early avoidance of the Namdang region, fearing their small numbers, Sukapha's son, Sutuphaa, orchestrated the withdrawal of the Kakaris, allowing the Ahoms to expand into this territory. However, for the next 2 centuries, there were no further territorial expansions. While the Ahom Kingdom remained largely isolated and closely monitored in terms of population movement, there were 2 notable encounters. One was a friendly interaction with the Chasha Kingdom, which eventually turned into conflict. The other was a matrimonial alliance with the Kamata Kingdom. Towards the end of the 14th century, the nascent Ahom state faced crises of succession, regicides, and interregnum periods. It was during this tumultuous period that Sudanfar Bamuni Konwar emerged as a beacon of hope. Raised in a Brahmin household in Habang, Sudanfar was identified as a descendant of a past king. He ascended the throne in 1397, with the blessings of the Burhohan and Borgohan, effectively ending the kingdom's period of turmoil. Sudanfar initiated measures that brought Brahmin officers, advisors, and communities closer to the capital. Although their influence was initially minimal, it marked the first appearance of Brahmin influence in the Ahom Kingdom. Rebellions arose purportedly against this influence, but Sudanfar quelled them, solidifying his rule. Amidst these challenges, the Ahom Kingdom faced an external threat when a rebel invited a military expedition from Meng Quang in 1401. A clash ensued, but Sudanfar emerged victorious and, through a treaty, established the boundary between the 2 realms at Potkai. This significant event marked the Ahom Kingdom's transition from implicit subordination to explicit sovereignty. With this transformation, the name of the kingdom itself underwent a shift, transitioning from Mung Dun Sun Kam to Assam, derived from Shan/Siam. Sudanfar moved the capital to Charaideo and restructured the Ahom polity. Clan allegiances, which had earlier held the kingdom together, gave way to the centralized political authority of the king. A momentous tradition was also introduced during Sudanfar's reign, the Singarai Rutha ceremony. This state coronation ritual symbolized the sovereignty, authority, and legitimacy of the Ahom kings. Under Sudanfar's rule, the Ahom Kingdom advanced significantly towards becoming a full-fledged state. Over the next century, the Ahom Kingdom primarily focused on suppressing rebellious Naga groups. However, a conflict with the Damasa Kingdom in 1490 forced the Ahoms to seek peace, as they were not yet strong enough for a direct confrontation. The Ahom royalty continuously strengthened their ties with the Brahmins, fostering goodwill among Indo-Aryanized tribal groups and consolidating their power. Thus, the stage was set for the Ahom Kingdom's continued journey through the annals of history, with new challenges and opportunities on the horizon. As the Ahom Kingdom ventured deeper into the pages of history, it underwent a remarkable transformation during the reign of Suhumung Dihingya Raja, who ruled from 1497 to 1539. This period marked a dramatic shift as the kingdom evolved into a full-fledged state. The journey began with the consolidation of the militia in the year 1510, a pivotal step towards strengthening the kingdom's internal structure. Soon after, in 1512, there was a significant expansion into the Buyan region at Habang. It's believed that this expansion was aided by the descendants of the Habungia Brahmins who had settled in the region during Sudanfar's reign. The Indo-Aryan Buyans, who inhabited this region, were relocated to the capital. Here, they were absorbed into the lower ranks of the burgeoning state, serving as scribes and warriors. This assimilation of talent greatly enhanced the kingdom's capabilities. In 1523, the Ahom Kingdom faced a critical turning point when it decisively eliminated the royalty of the advanced Chusha Kingdom. As a result, the Chusha Kingdom's nobility, commanders, professional classes, warriors, and technologies were incorporated into the Ahom Kingdom. This marked a significant consolidation of power. It was during this period that the Ahom Kingdom confronted aggression from Bengal under Turbak in 1532. Despite significant losses, the Ahoms managed to eliminate the aggressive leadership and even pursued the retreating invaders to the Charaideo River. In 1536, following a series of interactions with the Kakari Kingdom, the Ahom rule expanded further, reaching up to the Kolong River in Nagaon. By the end of Suhungmung's reign, the kingdom had effectively doubled in size. These expansions brought about substantial changes in the kingdom. The Assamese-speaking Hindu subjects now outnumbered the Ahom population. The absorption of the Chusha Kingdom introduced a wide range of artisan skills, significantly increasing the scope for division of labor. To legitimize their rule among the new subjects, Suhungmung assumed the title Swarganariana, Charaideo. This move was designed to foster acceptance and unity, although it didn't lead to a complete Rajputization process like in some other regions. The nature of the king's institutional relationships with the ministers evolved. During this period, a new position, the Borpatrogohain, was established, taking its name from a Chusha office. Additionally, the offices of Sadiakawa Gohan, territories acquired from the Chusha Kingdom, and the Maranjaikawa Gohan, territories acquired from the Kakari Kingdom, were created, both reserved for the Borgohan and Burajahain lineages. This restructuring further solidified the kingdom's administration. Traditional nobles, Jiao, now aligned with the Brahmin literati, resulting in the emergence of an expanded ruling class. As Tun Kham Borgohan led the Ahoms in pursuing invaders to the Charaideo River, they began to see themselves as the rightful heirs of the erstwhile Kamarupa Kingdom. The Ahom Kingdom continued to evolve and mature during the reign of Pratap Singh, who ruled from 1603 to 1641. These changes were primarily driven by the need to withstand sustained Mughal attacks. In 1609, the Paik system underwent a significant reorganization. The traditional kinship-based Feud system was replaced by the professional Khel system. Moreover, Paiks could now be permanently allocated to non-royal institutions through royal grants. During the same period, the offices of the Borfukan, Viceroy of territories acquired from the Koches and the Mughals, and the Borbarua, the Secretary of the Royal Government, were established. This increase in administrative roles, along with the creation of smaller offices, aimed to streamline governance. Under Pratap Singh's rule, the kingdom also began to adopt certain practices that would have a lasting impact. The Ahom kings started using Brahmins exclusively for diplomatic missions. They began adopting Hindu names alongside their Ahom names and actively patronized Hindu establishments. Although the formal initiation of the Ahom kings into Hinduism didn't occur until 1648, these steps marked the beginning of a significant cultural shift. The Assamese language made its way into the Ahom court for the first time and eventually replaced the Ahom language. During this period, the kingdom underwent no major restructuring of its state structure until its eventual downfall. After the division of the Koch kingdom in 1581, the Ahoms formed an alliance with their immediate western neighbor, the Koch Hayo branch. This alliance aimed to use the Koch Hayo as a buffer against the advancing Mughals, who had extended their rule to Bengal by 1576. However, the collapse of the Koch Hayo power in 1614 saw the Mughals gain control up to the Banadi River. In 1616, the Battle of Samdara marked the beginning of the Ahom-Mughal conflicts, a struggle that would persist until 1682. This confrontation began when the Mughals attempted to expand further into the east. It was during these conflicts that the Ahoms successfully pushed the Mughals back to the west of the Manas River, securing their eastern borders. In 1657, due to the War of Succession among the sons of Shah Jahan, Ahom King Jayadwaj Singh extended his authority. He occupied Kamrup, preventing the rebellious Koch King Pran Narayan from establishing his rule. This expansion allowed the Ahom Kingdom to exert its authority over the entire Brahmaputra Valley, from Sadia in the east to Sherpur in the south. The Ahom state had reached its greatest territorial zenith. However, in 1662, Aurangzeb launched an invasion under his chief lieutenant Mir Jumla II to reclaim the lost territories. Although the Ahoms faced initial challenges, they ultimately managed to fend off the Mughal invasion. After the Battle of Sa'et, the Ahoms extended their boundaries westward, reaching the Manas River. This boundary remained unchanged until the British annexation. Following the Battle of Sa'et, the Ahom Kingdom experienced 10 years of political turmoil. During this tumultuous period, the nobles wielded immense power, resulting in 7 kings being both enthroned and deposed. In the meantime, Kamrup briefly fell under Mughal control for a few years. With the establishment of the Tungkanjir rule in Assam by Gadadhar Singh, the Ahom Kingdom entered a new phase, one that would last until the kingdom's eventual demise. This era was marked by both prosperity and challenges. In 1682, the Ahoms achieved a significant victory in the Battle of Itikilai, which established the Manas River as their western boundary. However, internal conflicts began to brew as the Vaishnava Satras gained immense power and influence, leading to a widespread persecution of the Vaisnavites. Despite these internal struggles, the rule of the Tungkanjir Ahom kings witnessed noteworthy achievements in the arts and engineering. It was a time of relative peace and stability until the outbreak of the Momoria Rebellion and other internal conflicts that fractured the kingdom. According to historian Guha, 1986, Ahom Assam continued to flourish until 1770. During the Tungkanjir regime, there was an increase in population, expanding trade, the introduction of coinage and monetization, and the development of new arts, crafts, crops, and even clothing styles. Rudra Singh, also known as Sukaphaa, who reigned from 1696 to 1714, played a pivotal role in the kingdom's history. Under his leadership, the Ahom Kingdom reached its zenith. He successfully subdued the kingdoms of Damasa and Jaintia and initiated preparations to expand the kingdom's western boundaries. Rudra Singh even attempted to form a confederacy of Hindu kings in eastern India against the Mughals. Unfortunately, he passed away before he could execute these ambitious plans in 1714. During his reign, Rudra Singh reinstated the Vaishnava Satras and embraced their teachings. However, later in life, he turned towards Shaiktism, believing it to be more suitable for a monarch. He invited a renowned Sakta Brahmana from Bengal, Krishnaram Bhattacharya, also known as Pravatya Gosain. On his deathbed, Rudra Singh expressed his wish for all his 5 sons to hold executive power and advised them to seek initiation from Parvatya Gosain. His successor, Shiva Singh, who ruled from 1714 to 1744, decided to forego his father's plan to invade Bengal. He took initiation from Parvatya Gosain and granted extensive land and paix to him. Shiva Singha's reign was marked by his close association with Brahmanas and astrologers. In 1722, astrologers predicted that his reign would soon come to an end due to the malefic influence of Chhatrapanga Yoga. To ensure the kingdom's stability, he transferred the royal umbrella and throne to his wife Fulshwari, who was given the title of Bar Raja on the advice of Pravatya Gosain. However, Fulshwari became deeply involved in religious affairs and, at one point, insulted the Shudra Mahantas. After Fulshwari's death, 2 other wives of Shiva Singh, Ambika and Sabswari, assumed the position of Bar Raja. Shiva Singha's rule was relatively peaceful, except for an expedition against the Daflas. He contributed to the construction of many temples and made numerous grants to religious sites and Brahmanas. Upon his death in 1744, his younger brother Pramata Singh ascended to the throne. Pramata Singh, also known as Sungfa, presided over a period during which no significant events were recorded. He was responsible for constructing the Rangar with masonry and building the Sukreswar and Rudaswar temples in North Guwahati. Kirti Chandra Borbarua, an influential noble, gained political influence during his reign. Pramata Singh passed away in 1751. Rajeshwar Singh, also known as Supremfa, assumed the throne in 1751, thanks to the efforts of Kirti Chandra Borbarua. His reign witnessed a significant number of temple constructions among the Ahom kings. He was a devout Hindu and received initiation from Nati Gosain, a relative of Pravatya Gosain. In 1765, the Manipur king, Jai Singh, appealed to the Ahom king to liberate his country from Burmese occupation. An expedition was launched, and the second attempt in 1767 succeeded in recovering Manipur. However, Kirti Chandra Borbarua, who wielded immense influence, was responsible for the burning of Burangi's important historical records. Rajeshwar Singha's reign marked the beginning of the end of Ahom supremacy and glory. Signs of decline were already evident. He was succeeded by his younger brother Lakshmi Singh, also known as Sukaphaa, who ruled from 1769 to 1780. By the mid-18th century, the Ahom Kingdom had become a burdened hierarchical structure with weak institutions and limited economic surplus. The once effective Paik system, which had helped the kingdom repulse Mughal invasions in the 17th century, had become outdated. The later years of the kingdom were marred by increasing social conflicts, eventually leading to the Maurya rebellion. The Mauryas briefly captured and held the capital, Rangpur, for some years but were eventually ousted with the assistance of the British under Captain Welsh. The suppression of the rebellion resulted in a significant depopulation due to emigration and executions. However, the underlying conflicts were never resolved. The kingdom's vulnerability became evident as it faced repeated Burmese attacks. Finally, after the Treaty of Yamabo in 1826, control of the kingdom passed into the hands of the British.